know where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you landed here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfield.
This episode of Chief Concerns is brought to you by BetOnline.AG, Balance 7, and PlayActionPools.com. It's that time of the year again, and all eyes are now turning to football as teams are back on the gridiron to start the football season. As always, BetOnline is your number one spot for all the pro and college sports action this season. Get all the updated odds, props, and contests, including online's biggest $500,000 NFL mega contest, the world's largest $200,000 NFL Survivor contest, open now at BetOnline. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 100% welcome bonus. Take advantage of their opening day super promo. Make a bet on the Thursday, September 9th season opener between the Super Bowl champion Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys. And if you lose, your wager will be refunded up to $25 for new customers only when signing up and using promo code NFL100. BetOnline is the safest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. So, I don't know if you heard, but apparently former NBA player Lamar Odom may be returning to professional basketball in Spain soon. I was reading a press release about how he started taking a pH balancing alkaline supplement called Balance 7, and that's what has helped him bounce back from his hospitalization in 2015. He even said, "I have an enormous amount of energy, which is good for me. It's important when working out. I always need energy to level up." I couldn't agree more with Lamar, and after watching him fight Aaron Carter in July's celebrity boxing match, I think it's safe to say that Balance 7 is working for him. Cool thing is, we've got a promotion running with Balance 7 right now, where if you go to their website, balance7.com, and use the code BELIEVE, BLEAV, at checkout, you'll receive a free 4-ounce bottle of My Smooth Skin with any purchase of Balance 7 products. That product retails at $13.99, so I'd say it's pretty worth it. Again, head to balance7.com and use the code BLEAV at checkout to get in on the promotion. I know I will. If it worked for him, I think it can work for you too. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns, and welcome to the week one of the NFL season. We got our hosts, former cornerback Eric Warfield and former tight end Jason Dunn. And our first guest of the season is former safety Jarrad Page, and the only other athlete, as far as I know, that played in Kansas City, who played in 2 professional sport leagues, besides Bo Jackson, was our guy Jarrad Page right here. Jarrad, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on, y'all, man? I'm doing well. Nice to be here. What up, y'all?
And I was telling
in the Bay.
Yeah. I'm out in California, man. California, it's 100 degrees out here, man.
He's born in the Bay Area. He's out in
from Oakland. From Oakland. We not a Raider fan though, so y'all can be easy. We don't rock with them. So just born and raised in Oakland though.
And so you go back home?
I do. I mean, I go back home. My parents come out here a lot though, just because I got 3 sons. I got 3 boys, and so traveling with 3 kids, because really we just drive up to there. It's not, too far. So with the 3 kids though, having to travel around, my parents and like most of my best friends, they end up just coming out here, stay at the house or something, and we hang out.
So how much
here.
did relocating the Raiders hurt the city?
I mean, that's a huge. Sundays are huge. All that money that came into the city, all those people coming into the city, that's huge. But it's like, the Raiders weren't really being genuine with it anyway, though. Like they wanted to go to Vegas, and it didn't matter what Oakland came up with, it wasn't going to be good enough. And it's kind of happening with the A's now, and I hope it don't all the way go down like that. But it's like, they kind of like, oh, y'all agreed to what we said? Well, now we need this now. And it's like, well, man, if y'all want to go ahead and go to Vegas, that's just what y'all going to do. Like, at the end of the day, that's what the Raiders were going to do. Yeah. It wasn't nothing Oakland was going to be able to come up with that could keep them from choosing Vegas. but yeah, I mean, the city, it wasn't, it wasn't cool, and people are upset about that. But they still gonna be at them games in Vegas. I guarantee it, because they fans are for real.
How far a ride is that then from Oakland out there to Vegas, man? If you had to make a weekend of it, what do you have to do? How long would it take?
From Oakland to Vegas is like, I think Oakland to Vegas is talking about like 7-8 hours. Like from down here in Southern California, though, you only talking like 3.5 hours.
That's a quick trip from LA.
Yeah. So if you fly, it's like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's quicker from out here than up there. I think it's like an hour and 15-minute flight from the Bay to Las Vegas. But yeah, it's not really a drive you want to make though from the Bay to Vegas.
Yeah.
Maybe there you'll be all right, but coming home, you like, man, you ain't gonna want to go through it. You gotta come home.
Yeah, I was telling the guys earlier, JD, before you got on, that this is our 44th episode, and we have two of the most iconic 44 guys put on 44 in the Chiefs uniform. So I thought that was pretty funny. And plus, two guys that after the Chiefs went on to play for the Patriots as well. So I mean, it's very a lot of similarities there. 6th round, 7th round pick. I mean, you guys, were late in the draft, and so it's cool. The kind of like the similarities behind it all.
Did you work it out that way, Marcus? Is that what you was doing? 44th episode, you work it out that way?
It honestly clicked to me when I sent the email last night. I was like, episode 44, and I was like, wait, so Jarrad Page was 44, and so was Eric. So I was like, what the heck? So
I honestly paid no attention to, and you mentioned it when we first got on. I was like, shit, that is kind of crazy. So
yeah. I saw it when because 44 always catches my attention now. Ever since it was
it does. Same
when I saw episode 44, it just catches my attention every time I see 44. Because it's like you said, it's a number, Eric. DBs don't wear that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but once you get there, if you make your name in it, like just rock with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like just go with it. And so that's how I was. I'm like, I wasn't supposed to make the team as a 7th rounder. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't supposed to be out there playing. So I just kind of kept it like, yeah, that's just gonna be my number then.
And that was my first initial thought. I get to the locker and they got, as a DB, you think you're gonna be like a low number or at least a 30-something.
Yeah.
So I get to my locker and I see 44. I was like, damn, they want me to play linebacker or something? Like, they don't want me to make the team?
Yeah.
So I ended up, having pretty decent OTAs and camp, made the team. It's like, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and rock it. That was it.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I was. I mean, I kind of saw it because I'm like, all right, I was 4 in college, so they just tried to double it up. But I'm like, this is a big ass number for a jersey, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm like, all right, man, and I went out there, and then it was like, after playing I still had thought about it after I made the team, but after playing my rookie year and like kind of the season I had, I was like, there's no way I'm changing it now. Like, I'm keeping it now for sure. Like, had I not touched the field or anything, I might have still changed it.
Yeah.
But after my rookie year, I was like, nah, I'm keeping it now. I'm just gonna stick with it.
It seemed like it was kind of, I don't know if it was done on purpose or not, but Pollard was 49 and you were 44. So I thought like maybe there was a thing for the safeties. They want the safeties to be in the 40s.
Well, no, Bernard kept that just kind of for the same reason that I kept mine. Like, he didn't want that either, but he wanted to change to 31, but we ended up both being able to kind of get out there and play and stuff our rookie years. And we were both kind of like in the 40s, and we just both said, forget it, man. We just gonna keep this. Like, we just gonna be out here. It looks weird, but then we were like, hey, we big anyway. Like, we bigger than what other safeties are our size out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we just gonna rock with it.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say that. I'm like, look, they had some big safeties. Y'all was
Man,
linebackers.
we 230 pounds, man. We like, man, we just gonna keep this, man.
Yeah, they could just lay down in the box.
So which one of y'all did the twerk video in the locker room?
Oh, that wasn't me, man. That's Bernard.
Oh, okay.
That ain't. Make sure y'all put this on the show, and that wasn't me. That was Bernard. I heard that man talk about Fort Wayne got dancers. I'm like, that ain't no. What? I didn't male or female because I don't like. I mean, the way you was dancing, that wasn't really the type of dancers that I thought he was talking about. I thought he was gonna get out there and some type of little footwork or something. That man started. I said, "Oh, come on, man, we out.
Hey.
we on hard knocks."
He broke it all the way down. I was not expecting it.
Full splits. We went into full splits. I'm like, hold on, man.
Come on, man. Right? Come on, man. I said, to this day, everybody asked me. I said, nah, that wasn't.
That's funny. That was funny.
I ain't have nothing to do with that. His choreography or nothing. I didn't know none of that was coming. Like, man, I said, oh, he tripping out here. That was the highlight of that year. I said, man, that's all people know about this team is your ass in the locker room doing that.
Dropping it to the
that's
floor.
all they remember from this year. You was in there doing that. Like,
oh, shoot. Too funny.
What do you think about, I'm sure you heard that Bernard is trying to make a comeback to the NFL. That was kind of the whole talk on Twitter this past offseason that he's trying to come back. He said he talked to the Chiefs organization. What did you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, one thing, if anybody can do something like that, it would be him. I mean, dude is, a maniac when it comes to like preparation and getting his body right and all of that and working out. So I have no doubt that his body, will be in shape. I don't know if he really want to do that though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, we're safeties. Like, that ain't really like no. Man, I mean, I know the game is a little different now, so you could probably, safeties are getting smaller because they don't have to do kind of some.
Yeah, it's not big hit safeties nowadays.
Yeah, they don't. The run game is still there, but it's out of 4 wides now, and so it's a little bit less. But I mean, it's still tough. I can't speak for him though. Like I said, I know his body probably feel a lot better than mine, just because how he, I for sure ain't no way I would even. I can't even pick up the phone if it likes to even think about that. But yeah, I mean, that would be cool.
If they called you right now, they will give you a contract to come back. They'll give you 4 months to get in shape. You couldn't do it?
Nope. I mean, because if I went out there, I break my back the first time I went out there. Like, man, I went back as a, do y'all go to the game? And like if you sitting down close and you watching it, do you trip off the fact that you were out there doing that? Like when you see some of the collisions, like because I'll watch goal line, right? I was at the Rams game and I'm down there in the end zone, right? And it's goal line. And I'm we 230. Me and Bernard stayed in on goal line. We don't come out. We like linebackers. We stay in there. And they pulling, running powers. And I remember them 6'7", 350-pound dudes. And I was running in there. And now I'm sitting here in the stands and I'm watching the safety run in there and hit that. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, but I'll be sitting there. Why? I'm like, I was doing that. Like,
that was our job.
Like, I was eager. Like, I was running in there, like, no problem, like trying to kill that dude. And it didn't even register to me most of the time that he's 6'7", 350, because you can't even think about that.
You just
react. Like you just trying to run through him, like with everything you got, right? Oh, yeah. But looking at it as a fan with none of that adrenaline and none of that, it's like, whoa, that's a lot coming around. I see 2 pullers coming. Like, well, I'm looking at that little safety. I said, man, that's a lot.
Dude, look, I could feel like when I go back and look at some of the film, I could feel every hit that I went through when I'm just watching the film. I could just that memory, just that collision, like you talked about, just that pounding, and you could feel it. You can feel it. You know what it feels like. You said. You know exactly. I watch
the game as a fan. It's like I'm feeling everything I see. Like, oh no, like nope. I can see. Oh, that hurt. The average fan don't even notice some of the shit that hurts, and you like, oh, I know and it might not look like nothing, but some of them hits you like, oh man, he might stay down for a second, even though it didn't look like much. I know what that feels like.
Oh yeah.
And I'm the same way. I'm watching the game, and I'm like, ooh, every time I see, like, I don't want to look when somebody get hurt. I don't want to see none of that. Like, I don't like any of that.
Somebody asked me one time, did I get hurt playing? I said, man, I got a medical book this thick on injuries in the NFL. Yeah, that people don't even know about. That
I got my medical records when I had to do this TMP stuff for my back, because I had fractured my back, right? So I got my stuff, man. It's like I said, boy, I took it into the doctor's appointment, and they like, what? I'm like, that's my stuff. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And then they want to ask you about each individual. Like, man, I don't remember breaking my pinky back in. That stuff just kind of, you just roll with the flow. Take that up. I got to go play, man. I ain't, that little stuff just kind of, it'd be like major to regular people, and you just kind of gloss that over. Like, hey, you know what? I did break my hand. You're right. Like, you know what I mean? I forgot about that.
Dang,
I did play with that cat.
I remember Dr. Brown told me, he said, Jason, you got a football back. I said, a football back? He said, yeah, that's the best way to just describe it. You've been playing football, Your back is just broke up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is. You know? He's 7, what do you want to start at? I'm like, golly.
Exactly. All the way down.
All the way down. You start at. So
be the worst at the bottom, or at least for me.
Oh, yes, me too.
Yeah,
because I had the surgery, so
I did too.
But I gotta have surgery again.
Do you have to have the fusion?
I didn't do the fusion the first time. I did the discectomy.
Me too, but I gotta have the fusion because the discectomy stopped the nerve pain, but it ain't stopped the pain. Like my back still is on fire. Like you know what I mean?
So I still get epidural shots though.
See, I got 4, and I just finally said, you know what, man, I'm because by the 4th one, it works for about 3 weeks, and then it's gone. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, when I got the first one, I was like, I can't believe I had done this. I reached down, I touched my toes. I'm like, oh, this is great. Man, 6 months later, I was back the same way, that I was before I got it. And then each one lasted not as long. You know what I mean? Till like the last one, literally, I probably got about 3 weeks of not like minimal relief, and then it was right back. I said, well, why am I go through that? You gotta go put you to sleep, put you under, and I said, man, I ain't going through all that. So I just got the surgery, but then, like that discectomy, it ain't no cure all, like especially for me because I have the fracture. So it's like the fusion is inevitable, and so I mean at some point I do it. I'm just a little nervous about that, man. Like that's
so you got to get the fusion.
I most likely am. I don't really. There really ain't another choice,
So I heard somebody speak to me about doing the stem cells. And they said it, but I don't really know anybody that's gone through it though.
Yeah, but that's just for the disc, and I was gonna try that just for the disc, but the fracture is my problem, and so because of the instability there, like my vertebrae doesn't move together. Like if it's supposed to bend, like this top part bends. And this bottom part stays here because they're broken. It's not connected. So it's not a weight bearing part, but because when it bends, it's not taking the whole thing, it overworks. And so those discs right there, they just gonna keep rupturing. Like if you don't fix that problem, it's gonna continue to overwork, the disc, and then it'll keep happening. So it's like, all right, what I mean? At some point, I'll have to get into it, but I'm holding off right now.
The crazy thing, and I'm sure you're probably wondering also too, I always look at this. I'm always looking for like medical technology to advance. You know what I'm saying? Like something new to come out, like, hey.
Well, if you hold on,
you
might, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said, let me just keep holding on.
Yeah,
it be hurting, but shit, I've been playing football, everything be hurting. So I don't even care about that. Like I just go through that. Like, you just go through the hurt, but like maybe it'll be something where I don't have to put these rods in there and it'll be something better. So I'm just rocking kind of till I'm out here, all the way with the cane, and I just got to go do it. I'm just going to hurt bothering me and then kind of see, till it forces me to go get that operation and see if I can't get a better option before then.
Hearing you guys talk about this, I play in a flag league right now, and I thought I hurt my appendix, right? Because that area was kind of killing me, my right area. I look it up; it was my psoas muscle. It's like in the hip flexor.
Oh yeah.
That's little. I thought I had to stretch it because it's not something you stretch. I was stretching the other day. I was dying, but now hearing you guys talk about this stuff, it's like the psoas muscle, whatever. Forget about it.
Yeah, and I would hate to discourage anybody from playing football. Like it created a life that I never would have created. Well, obviously created for myself, but it gave me a job and a lifestyle that for what I had planned as a kid, I couldn't have made it this, to where I'm at. So I don't want to say that, football is a bad sport. I mean, it is what it is. It's physical.
I kind of say mine more to they actually, as much as guys that played before, we kind of watch the game sometime and we get irritated with some of the stuff. They making it better for them though. The stuff that we talking about,
Oh, definitely.
hopefully they don't come out the same, all the way the same. Now you're gonna go through some being upset, right? I saw the little college game and the kid that came through and made a regular tackle and got thrown out the game.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't like that. But at the end of the day, though, y'all probably gonna come out better than we came out. So like you could be upset, but like we 30s and 40s and dudes in 50s, they can tell you that you probably gonna come out this situation better than they did. And so like some of the stuff you just gonna have to look at as collateral damage, like those penalties. And I hate to see the kid kicked out of his game and not have one less game to get scouted on over that. But at the same time, they're trying to do something. It ain't, it's not everything, right? But at least hopefully with discouraging some of this contact that we would have thought was just regular, dudes do escape with a little bit less than, we had. And that's cool, because I know how my body feels. So if they feeling better than that, then that's cool.
Yeah, the game you're talking about, I think it was a little over the top, though. I think you should get, flag 15 yards. And then maybe,
it was. I agree. But I'm saying just that those rules are kind of going to help them in the long run. But it is. That's what I'm saying. We all play looking like, man, he ain't do nothing, but what is he supposed to do?
Right.
But at the same, that's the collateral damage part. But at the same time, at 38, you're not going to care about that. You know what I mean? You're just going to care about how you feeling. And so if it didn't, unless they throw somebody out of the game and it ends up altering their career or something, when at the end of it, you're not going to think back about that. You'll think more so if you're feeling in good shape, you'll be happy that you are. You know what I mean? You ain't going to be like, man, I hate that they kicked me out that game. You ain't going to be worried about that anymore.
Well, I think, and you're talking about collateral damage. I think part of it was just the intent, right, of the players in itself.
Yeah.
That's like you said, that's the bad part of it. It's like, well, what's the intent? Is the intent? Am I trying to target this guy? No, he's going down. I'm going low. So,
when it's a linebacker tackling a running back, I feel like it almost you can never say that because he just coming in there trying to. He doesn't even have time to like line up a kill shot as a linebacker. Yeah. You reading your gap, and as that thing flows, you shooting. Yeah. You don't have time to line. I mean, like me, sometimes as a safety, I got time to decide whether I'm gonna line you up or not. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But not when I was down in the box and I had the B gap and they run away and I gotta shoot through there and he cuts back. I don't have time to figure out, what I'm gonna do. And no, I ain't trying to necessarily knock him out, but he's trying to run me over. So I'm trying to fight that and run through him. So, I ain't trying to, we ain't thinking per se, oh, I'm trying to hurt this dude, but this dude is trying to run me over. And I'm not trying to have that. Like, you know what I mean? That's kind of how you approaching it. And I'm trying to run him over, basically. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so for linebackers, that's tough to me, man, to ever call it on them, unless they dove into the quarterback or something with their helmet, first. But but like I said, at the end of the day, if they 38 and, they ain't had as many, they bell ain't been rung as many times as ours and all that, then whatever. They're going to have to figure out how to regulate it better, like in time. But, ultimately, a lot more people's knees going to be hurt. I guess I'll just say that. Because that's what's happening. Like these knees, because these DBs and linebackers tearing these knees up now. Because if you can't hit nowhere near
right now, it's coming to a point you can't hit low now. So
I know they're calling, they're trying to make it like once you fall on the ground, you got to stand back up, and But the problem is these kill shots are coming through the knee now. As far as quality of life, again, it's probably better that you tore your ACL than got knocked unconscious, right? But for your career, for that season. Mm-hmm. Dudes lose a lot of money. So it's like, it's for your life quality, I think you would rather not be knocked out when you come across the middle. Ain't no telling what that's causing later on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, do you want your knee ran through, by a dude you don't see coming, and so, but that's what the rules kind of force is a dude to kind of target that area more. Not that they trying to end careers, but they also not trying to lose money. I mean, them dudes, 6th, 7th rounders like us. I can't come hit you in your helmet, man, and they give me a $50,000 fine. Nah, bro, I got to come to your knee because that's what they told me to do.
That's what I told E. I said, but it's illegal. That's why I've been screaming the last 2 weeks to E about the DBs not coming over hitting the linemen in their knees like that. You know, that's a lot of money for the linemen coming out there. We talk linemen are making tackles, making $25 million a year.
No, yeah, but you see from the now I was bigger, so I won't say it. But like for corners, you gotta understand though, 6'5", 350 coming around that edge, and they coming around steaming. They athletic, right? And but the only way to keep them from using that full speed is to chop them legs down.
Take them out.
Then they got the tiptoe when they hit that edge. They got to know, like, oh, is he gonna take my legs out or is he gonna hit me in my chin? And for me being 230, you know how many linemen I cleaned up, get them in their chin, and just knock them straight out? Because they didn't know if I was going to dive through their outside knee again or if I was going to come straight up. And when I came straight up, I'm 230. So if you slow down a little bit and I thought they were easing up, I'm just going to hit you. And then I'm going to win that. And so, but that's my weapon. Because otherwise, how can I win 6'7", 350 if I let him build up on the edge on me every time? I can't win unless I chop him down and slow him down sometimes.
Can't win on everything. You can't do it.
Oh man, that's what we gotta do.
you have like the top tackle coming around the corner. You take his knees out. You talking about you laying.
I won't do it to our tackle like in practice.
Well, no,
like,
of course not. No, I'm talking about
that man trying to get me fired too. If I let him come around and lay on top of me and pancake me and they hit the head.
Yeah, man. When they go to running that toss play,
my job too, JD. So I can't just let him do that. Like,
they go to running that toss play. You got to get contained to help your defense get up the field. We've been known for so long to just shoot that gap and make that that running hole small as can be. You shoot that gap, you got to take that offensive lineman down low.
Well, yeah,
and so if I'm going to take him up high, I can't take him up high. Yeah, exactly.
Exciting news. Our podcast is partnering with playactionpools.com this season to bring some interactive fun to the sport we love most. You'll be able to get in on the action with our playactionpools.com football pick'em challenge, which is open to everyone. Here's how it works. Sign up for our contest, Believe Football Pick'em, at playactionpools.com, and then get your picks in each week. We're going to select the 10 highest profile games of the week between NFL and college football. Whoever gets the most picks correct each week will win a pair of electric sunglasses and a pair of DC shoes. Again, go to playactionpools.com and sign up for the contest. Believe, BLEAV, Football Pick'em. And if you plan on hosting your own football contests, go to playactionpools.com. They've got Survivor, Pick'em, as well as cool sportsbook style concept called Build Your Bankroll. Playactionpools.com, your new home for all your office sports pools. And I got to tell you, the interface is fantastic. All right, so the first concern tonight, we're talking defense, and we got two defensive guys on the show tonight. So, Jason, you're outnumbered today, baby. But concerns going into this week are all on the defensive side of the ball. So last week, Willie Gay Jr., he'll be out for a few weeks. Ben Neiman will be stepping up for him. He was a linebacker, kind of rotated in and out the starting lineup last year, but a lot of people were kind of it's kind of troublesome that he'll be going against Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt this week. And then Tyrann Mathieu still in COVID protocol. And then also Frank Clark's injury status still uncertain as of today, with the game only a few days away. Of all these kind of concerns that we have on the defensive side as far as injury or COVID, which of these is kind of the most concerning to you?
To me, it's Tyrann Mathieu. He's missing a safety. That's the captain of your secondary. They keep us corners in line as to what they see, what they expect, where they're going to be at, and basically giving out the call. So he's kind of the captain of that defense. So just not having him out there is going to be a key piece, because they don't just have a two-headed monster in the backfield. They got two really good wide receivers. So they're going to, more than a ground and pound, they're going to air it out too. And Odell Beckham's coming back, so I'm not going to say he's going to be in high demands of the ball, because he got so much talk last year about how he wanted the ball so much, and how he was kind of a disruption for the team. So I think he's kind of felt his way into what his role can be for this team. And I don't think he'll be as vocal. So, but just having those two guys out there with the receiver and not having Mathieu, Tyrann in there, And along with the ground and pound game that they have with two good running backs, I think that hurts us a lot. I mean, Frank Clark, we've gotten to a point to where we're moving Chris Jones around. So I think that, from moving him to D tackle to defensive end and times, it could help cover up what he's missing there. And then Neiman's been around for a long time, so I think he's good enough and knows enough about this playbook to where he can hold it down for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and for me, I with Neiman, I do like that he's been around, so he's a veteran, so he understands the defense and stuff. And one of my issues, like when I watch Willie Gay Jr., when I watch him play, is first of all, he's a really good athlete, right? And that's kind of what makes him the player that he's been over that first year. But he's real slow on his reads, though. He misses a lot of his read, like his initial read. He's late to react, and because he's so athletic, like he catches up a lot, So they'll have a two-back formation, and he'll allow the fullback out to the flat, and then realize it, and then run him down and still play the flat, and like make the tackle out there when they throw to him and stuff. But it's like, so he's a step behind sometime in his read, and then his athleticism allows him to catch up. But it's like once he starts being a step ahead with that athleticism, then you're gonna start seeing him score and stuff like that. So I think right now, Neiman can still make the reads. You're gonna miss the athleticism. If it ever comes like out on the edge in space, that's where you're gonna lose it. But as far as making the read, when the fullback starts outside, I think Neiman's gonna get a better read and kind of be in better position. Therefore, he don't need to be as good of an athlete. If he was, it'd be better, right? But he doesn't have to be. And I just think I'm with you, Eric. Like Tyrant, like that's the dude, man. Like, as far as getting the defensive line motions, checking stuff, getting the corners right, letting them know, corners want to know if you're gonna cut, or you're gonna help, like just being able to have enough confidence that you can tell dude, no, yes, this what we doing, no. And it's not just the corners. You got to be doing that to the linebackers too. Like, you got to be telling them sometimes slide out on the slide. You got to uncover, and you got to have confidence to be able to say that. To be able to bark out them orders and
heck yeah
together. And if you're not, and you're a little bit quiet back there, you're gonna allow stuff to happen right in front of you that you could have stopped. And that's the thing of not having him out there. You just don't know. Like that worries me. Like, that him not being out there, like when stuff if they driving on you, right? If you had a couple bad plays and you need somebody to calm it down and get you back in line and don't miss a check just because the drive is kind of getting long, I want him out there, like I need that, because and Frank, I love Frank. I know Frank personally, like, but one guy in the pass rush, I feel like I can replace better than I can replace that dude back there who's the captain of my defense, who got things moving like they're supposed to be. And if we get into something rough, he can help me as a coach get us out of it. Like, you know what I mean? I need him playing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that for me, it's him, definitely.
So I'm right with you guys. I think, Tyrone being out there without a doubt is the conductor of the defense, right? Like you said, he's orchestrating everything. He's putting everybody in the right position. Plus, he's so versatile where he plays, right? He all the way in the back, he's even playing on the line of scrimmage. So the thing is, man, with him, his presence, not only just, his physical presence is out there, but his voice, like you said, telling guys what to do. His emotional presence also too. Like you said, if a guy back here is quiet, and you're looking like, man, where's that emotion at? Where's this guy getting hype on, on the defense all the time? And so that says a lot, especially when you have like your best player who's not available. He's not there on the field. Man, that speaks volumes. It really does as far as that to a defense. Yeah. Now, of course, Frank, I look at it like this. If it was anybody else besides the Browns, then I'm like, yeah. But look, the thing is, man, you're going to have to need all hands on deck. And Frank would be able to bring a presence on the outside, man. I mean, we're talking about not just having two great receivers, they have two great tight ends too, right? And like you said, a two-headed monster. Any type of pressure you're going to be able to get and generate is what you need. Now, I will say this. Now, maybe this is the time you find out what you have as far as like defensive ends now. Guys can step it up, right? Because it's still like the same thing. Frank is still kind of in limbo with the whole situation, with off
the field.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So this will be a great contest for guys to kind of find out what you got. some of the younger guys, like you said, who was still on board, what they can do. Chris is going to be able to get the pressure up the field, but hey, another pass rush on the outside ain't going to hurt, man. We really need it. Like he said, like y'all know this more than anything else. It don't matter who you have out there in that secondary. If you ain't got no pass rush and you got them two jokers out there running, running routes, it's going to be a long game. It's going to be a long game. So I don't know. Maybe you could answer this for me. So what is the protocol in itself? When are they going to be checking to see if he's able to get off the COVID protocol? Is it going to be before the game? It's before the game, right?
Apparently, you have to test positive twice or test negative for COVID
Negative
twice.
Okay.
And apparently, when I was watching ESPN, he has been vaccinated. So
right. So if they're just hoping if he gets back, tested negative twice, he's not like he needs a whole lot of field time. He already knows what to do. He's got everything down. It's just plug and play with him. So it's not really much big of a deal. And then you're talking about Neiman. I think he's going to be all right. I think, to be honest with you, like you said, a veteran presence with him out there on the field, shoot, he'll be all right. He'll be fine. We got some big boys up in the front, man. So I hope it's going to help against that two-headed monster too. So
slow them linemen down, keep their hands off of.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. That's what you need.
Yeah.
They got one of the top offensive lines in the league. So
oh yeah.
They made a whole lot of first round draft picks to make that team.
They did. They did. That offensive line is full of them. Yeah. They did.
It's just funny to hear you guys say. I mean, obviously Matthew's as we've said on the show, he's the quarterback of the defense. But if you look at the Chief fans, I know they always overreact about things, but there were probably more. I've seen more stuff about Neiman being scared about having Neiman at middle linebacker rather than Mathieu possibly missing this game. With the fact that I guess the theory would be we have better depth at the safety position with I guess it would be Thornhill and Sorensen would be back there if Mathieu can't go. And then I guess Neiman being a backup to Willie Gay, just that's been kind of the talk on the Chiefs Twitter.
And I don't have us losing this game, but if we do, this game is not going to define our season. I think we're a better team than Cleveland, especially offensively. Even if they do have their two All-Pro receivers and two-headed monster in the backfield, I think that we're just a better overall team. Yeah, they added some pieces to their team to upgrade them. Getting Odell back and adding Clowney is a definite upgrade for them. But I just think overall we're a better team. And yeah, we got some circumstances that could potentially hurt us. And if we do lose, big if, I'm okay with it. If we don't have Tyrann Mathieu back, if we don't have Frank Clark, if the offensive line hasn't really gelled to where we need them to be, if Nicole Hardman hasn't turned into that role player that we need him as a receiver. I'm okay with these guys working their way in, after this game. I think Cleveland's more hungry also just because of the loss that they took and we didn't have our starting quarterback to beat them with. So, I think they're wanting to prove a point, and we're just looking at it just if we got some key pieces that might be out, but we can survive this. But to me, I just think overall, if we lose, it won't define anything for our season.
Yeah, I think the fans, they could kind of jump off, I guess, back up off the edge a little bit because, I looked at some of the fan posts and stuff, and I saw some people breaking down Willie Gay Jr., right? And the thing is, a lot of the information that's out there with the fans, they'll watch a play and they'll have someone breaking it down for them. And they don't realize, dude, every play he's shown, Willie Gay has made a mistake on, right? And what he's actually showing you is his athleticism to recover from those mistakes, which is really impressive at the NFL level. I mean, you blow your zone and then catch up and make a tackle for a 1 yard, gain or something. I mean,
the speed of that game is something else.
Exactly, but the thing is, I think where the fans need to ease up is that if you get an NFL linebacker who is good, that reads his keys, that's going to see pullers come, that's going to see the tight end who's off the ball come underneath the line of scrimmage, or the wing who's offset come underneath the line of scrimmage, and he's not going to give up that guy in the flat, or he's not going to lose contain there. Y'all not losing as much as you think. that athleticism is something. But once he gets to be a better player that's all in tune with his keys and he's reading everything right away, then this would be a major loss. Because with his athleticism, once he starts seeing everything, oh my goodness, I would never want him out the game. Like, because if that dude gets to jump on the play, it's over. Like, you know, and so, but right now he's not doing that yet. So you're not really losing. You ain't losing what he's probably gonna be yet. You know what I'm saying? You losing the infant version of him, and I think Neiman can do a good enough job, not be him, but you ain't gonna lose a whole lot to where that's gonna be the most dramatic. I actually think that Frank Clark being out is worse than that. Like, I think that, you know, he'll be able to hold his own there. And again, that's not about Willie Gay Jr. because I'm telling you, like, I can see what he's gonna be. You know, he just gotta clean it up and be quicker to recognize stuff and just do it right away. And once he does that, man, I can see it because his ability to make up for stuff is just crazy. Like that's what I see.
Yeah.
And so we still got, you know, Jaron Reed and Bolton out there, 2 new additions. So where, you know, we got Bolton just because he's been making plays in the backfield.
Right.
You know, he's been that run stopper that has that speed to make plays in the backfield and in the secondary or the passing game. So I mean, I like the pieces that we've added. So, you know, with missing Gay, is it gonna hurt? Like you said, I see a lot of the mistakes in the makeup playability too, but I think Neiman has the enough knowledge and you know, playing time to where he can, you know, at least make up for what we're missing.
He can get us by. He can for sure
get
us by.
Well, and also too, let's not discount too, man. Spags putting something together. Well, Spags look, he knows
scheme,
against, right? And so part of what his job is to do is like, look, if we're lacking on something like that, he'll make up for it. You know, he'll put packages together, you know, some pressures, you know, a little bit of combination as far as things. So he'll realize that. He'll know Neiman's, you know, his strengths and his weaknesses. He will never put him in a position, you know, that's going to, you know, expose him for any other reason, right? So that's the thing about it, like you're saying, you know, with Gay, his athletic ability, you know, he can make up for a lot of that. But if you got a solid guy and guys around him who's solid, he'll be all right. He'll be fine.
He'll be hold his own. Yeah.
So kind of our second concern tonight, if you just look at, because the national media, you know, right now, the concern national media, I guess they haven't been watching our training camp or preseason. The concern of the national media is the offensive line. Now, I mean, obviously we've been following our guys all throughout the training camp and stuff. You know, we've seen the new additions. But the big thing is the right side line is all rookies. And that's kind of the concern when you're going up against Myles Garrett, Clowney, Tack McKinley, guys who are phenomenal pass rushers. But are you, I guess, more concerned about our new and improved O-line, or I guess our new and improved D-line, where we have Chris Jones coming off the edge, and this week, but with no Frank Clark? Which one are you kind of more concerned about going into this game on Sunday?
I mean, most of all, Patrick Mahomes is our franchise, so that's what we're protecting. So if we brought these key pieces in to revamp this offensive line and add depth there, and if they're not ready, prepared to hold the line throughout the season, then yeah, we've made some mistakes. We didn't pick the right guys. But I mean, Veach has done a good job of bringing key pieces in. So, and I think that right now, for what the guys he's brought in, I think that, you know, with enough playing, I mean, this is the first game of the season, so we don't really know how well they're going to do. Preseason, you don't get the full effect of what a player is or what he brings to a team, you know, especially coming in for a new year, but you don't get all a full, you don't play your hardest because you're only given a certain amount of reps. You're not going to get all the plays you get throughout the season. So I think it's a very good test for him. You know, you going up against two of the best in the league, even though, you know, Clowney's not the Clowney that they portray him to be. You know, that's maybe due to a lot of injuries, but he doesn't have the numbers of sacks and big plays that he's known for. But he's still going to be a force out there. So I'm just curious to see how well those young guys play, and you know, what kind of time did they give Patrick instead of having to roll out of the pocket so much.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm gonna be interested because the last time, you know, we had a big game, that was my concern, and so it's like we had linemen out in the Super Bowl, and having to rock with, I know it's not the same people, but having to rock with new faces across the on half of the line, and just get up to date with that system through the off season, through what they had, their little reps between whenever they could show up for camp and now. I wouldn't say that it's not that I'm concerned as much as I'm interested to see like what they do. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know that I could say that I'm concerned about them yet, but if anything, I'm more concerned about them than the D-line. I'll say that. Like, because if our prize, let's just say the prize ain't just Patrick Mahomes, it's that whole offense, right? They built that offense to be a Ferrari, not just Patrick Mahomes, right? They got speed all over at the tight end, at the running back, everywhere. Like, that's what it is. So if those are the dudes that are supposed to make it go and protect it and be able to get stuff off, then they got to be right. Like, that's what you putting all your money into. That's what you trying to make be the star of the show. And so those 5 dudes up front have to be, you got to make sure that they are doing their jobs, you know what I mean? And that they're ready and capable to do those jobs. And I'm not saying they're not, you know what I mean? But that's what I'm interested to see, that right there, the offensive line. I'm not really going to be keying in on the defensive line as much and be as kind of nitpicking on stuff as I would be on two rookies, really needing to see like, okay, they really got to improve that. They got to improve that. A veteran that makes a little mistakes, you can kind of expect that they'll clean it up, right? A rookie, you don't know. You better get on top of it right now before they go the wrong way. So that's just kind of what I want to see.
You know what, man? I think, to be honest with you, they've been gelling together pretty well from the start of like training camp to now. And so I think it's just going to be an improvement. Like you said, it's going to be a great contest for them. And to be honest, you can do a lot to kind of slow down the pass rush. You could chip a guy, like you said, with a tight end or running back, get a little quick passes, if you want to. Screens. A lot
they
of
run them all the time.
Exactly. And the good thing is, I think the guys that we got up front, got some grit to them. I think they're looking for a challenge. Like, Trey Smith, first one going out, right? Greed. These guys are young, but you know what? They hungry, and they got some oomph to them. So I'm not really worried about them as much. Like I said, you could do things to kind of, slow down that pass rush, and we know, look, hey, I think maybe kind of looking at Brown on the left side, because now you've been right. Now this is left. How is he going to do? So this is going to be the first time. And this you can really gauge where your offense is right now in the offensive line, right? This is one of the best tests you could possibly be, is coming straight out the box, knowing that you're going against probably a top 10 defense, right? So to me, that's good. And the thing is, Cleveland, they got the same problems. Their offensive line is young. They got a good team without pass rush, some of those guys. So the thing is, I think we're going to win in that battle. Our defensive line is going to beat their offensive line, no doubt about it. But I think, like you said, Jarrad, I think I'm more excited to see what these guys can do against this defense. So, yeah, I'm not really worried about it. Yeah. So,
how hard is that? Because I heard another lineman talk about that, about them switching tackle. How hard is that on your foot? The footwork, when you go, you've been used to, it's like kicking on one side of the punt team, and then they make you left wing. Yeah. Like, hold on, I don't push off this right foot like that. I was used to pushing off the left. Does that mess them up?
Man, that is, man, because, and it's like this. You end up, your hips turn a certain way. So if you do it so long enough, man, your hips kind of lock up a little bit. And so changing from right to left, man, is a big deal. It's huge. It's huge.
I know. That's why I'm asking, because I've heard linemen say, man, that's major.
Man, it's technique. You're talking about like spacing. Like, Willie, he gave Big Roth. He played left all his life, man, going to the right. And, half his gait was him being on the left side all the time. Him walking. I mean, it's really what it is.
Yeah, because you're pushing off that lead leg all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
and for somebody who, tight ends would go left to right all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I get in left-hand stance, right-handed stance. And so I was kind of used to it a little bit, but still you had to, like, in your mind, like, okay, I got to sit this foot back far enough, right? I'm just not used to it. It's muscle memory, right? That's what it is.
So that's what they mean when they say they're setting under themselves. They not stepping back.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the balance, man, and you could just feel it. You're just off. So, You know, like you said, man, look, you were switch hitting, right? You know how it was?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, in that case, that's tough against speed rushers.
Oh, yeah.
If you stepping underneath yourself and they coming off with speed, that's tough.
Right.
You know.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because you had the width, like stepping out, like you getting your steps width and everything, like, I mean, setting back, and with the tackles, it's all about the width. Bars are setting the depth of the pocket. But if you're talking about a speed rusher, now all of a sudden you got a guy who's bull rushing and can speed rush, like Myles Garrett. Woo,
exactly. Yeah.
It's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be good though. It's gonna, like you said, it's gonna be a good competition, man, for them.
Yeah.
Definitely going to be a good test for the young guys. And now, because earlier, E said that the Browns are going to be hungrier for this one. This kind of plays into this next concern here. So the last time we saw the Chiefs and Browns play, the Chiefs didn't have a full crowd. It wasn't max capacity, and played most of that game without Mahomes. But I would say the Browns do have kind of more of a chip on the shoulder, losing in that fashion, losing to Chad Henne in the way that they did, the run and that 4th and inches, little out route to Tyreek. Which, obviously, E, I know you said that you think the Browns have a kind of a bigger edge going into this game, just for that reason alone. But what are your guys' thoughts on that? I mean, who has the bigger edge going into this one?
I mean, I think they definitely thought they had a chance when Patrick went out. Now, do they think they're in the back of their minds, they probably think they're a better team just because of the pieces that they have. I'm pretty sure they think they got better receivers, better running backs. I hope Baker Mayfield doesn't think he's in the same category as Patrick Mahomes, because that's not even close. They do have a good running back core. They do have a good offensive line. And the defense I think they have one of the top 5, top 10 defenses. So overall, they're a good team. Now, when you get on a roll like that, you see playoffs, you see Super Bowl. And when you put a quarterback out, you really see Super Bowl. And to see the things that they accomplished against us, and to have Henne come in and break their hearts the way he did, I think that they think they left something behind, and they got something to prove by coming in to getting this win, especially at Arrowhead. But the thing that plays into an advantage for us is we have an amazing crowd, crowd noise and support. So coming into that place, you got to bring everything, your lunch bucket and a canteen. When you come to play the Chiefs at Arrowhead. So heck, I got to quit calling it Arrowhead because they changed the name. But the overall better team is gonna be the Chiefs. So I mean, I still think we win the game.
Yeah, I mean, I know the Browns definitely they got some stuff on their minds. It's just, for me, about which team is gonna have the bigger chip on their shoulder, who's gonna be ready, man. That's more about your locker room. Like, it ain't even about that game. Like, I feel like when I'm in the locker room, it's about enough dudes that's like Tyrann Mathieu, enough dudes that go out there and play the game with the mentality of Frank Clark. And them dudes might not be on the field, but they're going to be in the locker room. And it's about your mindset before you go out there. Like, for me, if I'm in the locker room, I don't give a damn how the Browns feel about what we did to them last year.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not going to beat us. Yeah, I don't care. They could be, they think whatever they want. Whatever they think they coming in there to do, they not about to do. Like, you know what I mean? And as long as they in the Kansas City locker room and they like that, I mean, that chip on your shoulder stuff that's whatever, man. Because when I line up, if it's me and JD, it's me versus him. It ain't he can't go back to the championship game last year and try to find something else. You either right here on this field ready to go right now, or you not. I'm either going to win or you going to win. Like, and a team can't come in and just play with a chip on their shoulder and beat you if basically you approach every game as if the chip is on your shoulder. Like, that's how I played. Like, every dude trying to come out there and get me fired, I got a chip on my shoulder. Right. I already was a 7-round pick. Like, I ain't care about nobody out there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not coming in to the game more ready than me. And I feel that from Tyrann. Like, I feel that. Like, that. You're not coming into a game with a better mindset than him. I don't see that on the Browns. I don't see nobody going to do that. I don't see nobody. I mean, they got people, but I don't see nobody like him. And he's not even having his best statistical years. He done, that dude is all pro. He done all type of stuff. But he just leading them dudes. They play with his heart. Dudes don't stop. It's like they should just stay in it, stay in the drive, try and keep them out the end zone. Try and keep them to 3. That dude back there, like, that's important. I don't think anybody's coming in more prepared to win a game as long as you got dudes like that on the field. That's what I feel. And Pat Mahomes was even willing to come out there and say it, that their goal was to go 1-0 every week. Listen, I don't think they coming in this thing half-step. They really believe something, and they really believe we coming into every damn game to go 1-0.
Yep.
The Browns better be careful about thinking that, oh, we work. Okay, you can be motivated all you want.
Yeah, but that's how it is.
Team is too. Okay, then we gonna have what we have, and I expect Kansas City to do their thing.
Exactly.
So if you're talking about just the chip, like you said, man, what happened last year, man, it happened last year. I think they got no basis on what's going to go happen on Sunday. Somebody still, if they still on that thing, man, look, hey, shit, they tell you have memory, right? And that's just what it is. So regardless of that, I know Arrowhead is going to be rocking on Sunday. I know that. I already know that, man. Look, first time you're going to have a full crowd coming in too. Oh my gosh, man, look. Barbecue, smoke in the air, man. Everybody, man, you'll hear everybody coming, man, all the way from Raytown, Blue Springs, just hollering. Boy, it is going to be rocking. So I think, man, Arrowhead or GHA, whatever you want to call it, I'll give him a little shout, whatever it is. Okay. But that man right there, to me, is going to be the advantage, pure and simple. And they know, man, when you come out that locker room, you go and see it red and white. Oh man, that's a beautiful sight. That's a beautiful sight.
And then think about our offense, right? Because the offense is built around breaking your heart. Because they score like 4, 5, 6 plays, right? They don't have no 15-play drive. Think about when they throw that 60-yard touchdown, what it's going to sound like in there to Cleveland. It's going to feel like it's all falling off the rails. You know, you be having to compose yourself. That crowd be going crazy. You're on defense. When the crowd go crazy in you somewhere and they just throw a 60-yard bomb on you and it's going crazy. You like tackle them before the end zone. You can't hear. It's like, and you like, what's next? You better be able to. I don't know, Cleveland. Y'all ain't really. Can y'all do that? Like, I don't know. Like, can you keep your composure when these dudes go strike for an 80-yard touchdown in 3 plays? Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what Tampa Bay did, is keep them from doing that. Yeah. That's your only chance. If them boys score quick on you, it's over, especially in Arrowhead. With that crowd, it's gonna have you to where you don't even know what's next.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's and you know, and the hardest thing, man, is just hearing on offense. Is that, you know, the opposing, you know, team, it's so hard to hear the count, the snap count. There's gonna be a couple of guys, you know, false starts. You watch, you know, probably because, you know, everybody has a little bit of anxiety for the game, for one, you know, just ready to get it playing. But 2, man, because you just can't hear that snap count. And tight end, I was like, what? What is? Hey, you can't hardly. Man, I'm telling you. So I give advantage, man, to the Chiefs on that. Like you said, man, the offense, we ain't been talking about the offense, man, what the dudes going to do. And even we're talking about, like, man, a young wide receiver core, right? They know they looking over here. They got Odell and, you know, over here and stuff like, look, we got to do what we got to do. Tyreek and all them guys are going to, like, shit. We know we the top 100 where we are in this whole deal.
You think they ain't coming to prove something?
You know what I'm saying? For real.
Everybody talking about Odell Beckham and that boy. You think Tyreek Hill ain't like, okay, 200. You think he ain't thinking 200? That's what he's thinking. He's thinking McCall Hardman thinking 200. They
200.
thinking,
let's go.
We going down this field, and let's see, Cleveland, can you stop it? You know, because they got some good back. We got a good back too.
Right.
But don't forget that. We're going to keep you honest with that. Because if you want to just sit back there and take away the deep ball, then he'll just run on you. And he'll take the 30-yard chunks on you that you was trying to stop. You know, so either way, they find a way to get the big play. Like, and that's on defense, that just kills you, man. Constantly giving up 3, 4 first downs in one play. Yeah. Like, come on, dude. That was like 12 plays they should have had to run. They got it in one play. Yeah. Now they all the way down here on our 30. Like, come on. It's demoralizing, man. And KC do it every week.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, man.
That's hard. When you looking back there, you can't find no answers like that, guy. What we gonna do about this? They keep doing it over and over.
Tyreek and Hartman taking your top off every play. They just running goes all the time. Like, man, that's tiring, man.
Yeah.
Running down the field 50 yards every time. How you keep doing that? I'm tired.
And just talking about it, every single one of us could just remember that first game in Arrowhead. You know what I'm saying? That first game in Arrowhead, I just feels that the energy just going through the spot, you know, for a regular season. Oh man, I'm excited. Yeah, can't wait.
It's funny you say that. So I was reading this article about, because CEH he was rookie last year, never played in a full capacity game. And he was talking about how over the summer he went to some country concert at Arrowhead Field, and that was the first time he'd been like a max capacity like environment. And he said it was nuts. So I can't imagine what it's going to be like for him on all the rookies last year on the game on Sunday.
Right.
It's something.
He's about to get the full effect.
It's still like, I know it's probably even better than when I was there. So I know they got something to look forward to then. Like, you know, I remember one of them years I was there, we won about 2 games. So we wasn't quite rocking that year. You know, it wasn't quite going on up in there.
They still support you, but it just ain't the same.
Yeah, they still support you, yeah.
Oh, they were still there though. I admit that's
right.
what I'm saying, but it wasn't quite. We wasn't giving them what they wanted.
Yeah,
we wasn't giving them what they wanted.
Same product.
So the last topic of the night, it's obviously we're in the season now. So last topic's always our pick'em. So we got a couple questions here. 2 questions. One, the Chiefs are currently a 6.5-point favorite against the Browns this weekend. I want a prediction from each one of you guys. Where do you think this game goes?
I'm gonna go 28-22.
Oh, you did Browns cover. The 6.5 points.
That's 6, yeah.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go 31-24. I'm gonna say that 24 don't really come to make it as close as it sounds.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna say that's what it end up though.
Yeah.
That was my pick, 31-24. But since you're
Yeah,
saying that,
I'm gonna say it's not really that close though. That it ain't.
Right,
It
right,
don't
no, yeah,
feel
yeah.
like it's within a touchdown.
Right.
That's how I expect the game to be.
right, sporadic at the end, trying to, you know.
Yeah, coming back with a minute left and they score
Right.
24. That's what I
Yeah.
kind of think. Like that's gonna be.
Right.
Hopefully, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good one right there. That's what I looked at. 31-24. Shit, I'm even gonna say 31-21. I'm gonna put that right there. How about that? We'll just go there with it. Let's go there with it.
I think this is the first time I've been below the 30 mark.
I was gonna say that. Every game last year.
So you worried about that right side?
30 plus.
You worried about them rookies on that right side? You say 28.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, we ain't gonna get that extra field goal, man.
And, so since it's the first game of the season, we got to do the season prediction. So what is your season prediction and Super Bowl prediction?
See, I don't even want to do that because, like, I know Patrick said they want to go undefeated. You know, everybody always says it's one season, it's one game at a time. I feel like we're going to win get the necessary wins to put us in the playoffs and to put us in the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I think it'll be the Chiefs representing the AFC. Coming out the NFC, I have no clue. You know, right now I have to go with Tampa Bay just because they're the defending champs.
Yeah, I'm out of the NFC. I'm still going with Tampa Bay just because, like, I'd spent a year there in New England, like, and just saw the way that I know how time. I mean, dude was living in Boston, right? You know what I'm saying? And we playing an hour. We got an hour and 15 minutes away from Boston. And he still was the first dude there every day, and he still was the last dude to leave every day. And the dude is making more money than everybody, and he's like a first ballot Hall of Famer, all that, and he's still like that. And I'm like, that's hard to beat. Like somebody that's willing to prepare, somebody that's basically willing to say, this is my life.
Right.
During this season, this is my life. I'm going to stay up here. Because a lot of dudes, I wasn't willing to do that. I didn't stay there all night, like, you know what I'm saying? And I studied. And I know, I watch film. But I didn't stay up there all night. Like, Tom be there, man. Like, it's crazy. And dude is just still ticking. And so I can't go against that. Like, you know what I mean? That because that presence alone gets people in line that weren't really in line before. Like just being a part of a culture like that, dudes figure out how to handle their business that didn't really know on other teams. And I see that with Tampa Bay because that was a team that was like, whoa, they always been talented. They had a lot of that talent already, but they didn't really know how to handle their business all the way, And then it's like Tom come in here, he bring a couple little pieces with him that he wanted to help him with that culture. And then some of these dudes come around and figure out, you know what, maybe I should stay up here another hour, check out some tape or maybe hit that weight room. Now, it ain't no big deal. I'm going to go home and do something that don't matter anyway. maybe he gets a couple guys like that, and transforming 5-10 dudes like that in your locker room, you a different team. Yeah. And I think that's where Tampa Bay is now. They're a team that's like, you're really going to have to go take it from them, and they're going to make it very difficult. They're going to be aware in every situation. So I expect them to be back. And then again, with us, I expect us to be back. I thought about that, and saying, like, I'm a respecter. He say he's going to go undefeated. I'm going to rock with him. But, like, honestly, I didn't pick. I'm saying 12-4, right? Or 13-3, right? Somewhere right there. I'm not picking which 3 or 4 games those are going to be, though, because, I mean, week to week, you don't know. At the end of the season, sometimes it plays out to where you don't need to be playing nobody, maybe for 2 weeks.
Exactly.
You know, if you're in the right position. So, like, you know, some L's should come at the end, hopefully. You know, hopefully it's in position to where, or the backups just go take something from somebody. Yeah. You know, but we might be in a position at the end, if we taking care of business, to where we might drop a game or 2 for sure at the end, you know, just off who you want to play, you know, in the game. But I just, again, I like what he said. Not too many teams are willing to, like, come out and kind of take that on. That, look, when you say what we going to do this year, our goal is to go undefeated. Everybody we step on the field against, we know we can beat, and so we plan to beat them. Yo, that's real, and most teams will never tell you that, especially not their quarterback. They won't say it. And, like, I'm telling you, in that locker room, I feel that. Like, if I was playing for the team, I feel that. Like, you know what? Don't be scared to tell everybody that, because what does it matter?
Right.
But you know,
if they can never come in here and match our energy, then it doesn't matter what they think or what kind of chip they got on their shoulder. And I like that. And so I want to see, like, does the team come out and do they play like that? Do they play like, you know, because we should see it. It shouldn't look like the Browns have an edge. It should look like KC got an edge, because it takes an edge to say we plan on going 16-0. So come show the edge. Like, you know, I expect them to do it, though.
This is the first year with 17 games, right?
17 games.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, yeah.
No, you good.
Look.
I'm caught in habit.
Yeah.
We all are.
Listen, and that's a great point. When you're at the pinnacle, you know, there's no reason why you shouldn't say, hey, look, we're the best. There's no reason why we should come in every single week. Like I said to Ed last year, we never thought it was a game we came in we was going to lose. We just didn't have that mentality in the locker room. If you're doing that, you don't need to be in the locker room. You don't need to suit up, just go home. You need to get out of the NFL. I mean, it's just the bottom line, period. The thing is, you're looking at the weapons around the room, offensive side, defensive side, special teams. You're like, look, we are stacked, we are loaded, and we coming for everybody. So I don't even care who's shooting for us. We good. You know, right? We Teflon down right now, as far as it looks like to us. So but you made a great point. I'm saying 15-2, because like you said, you might not want to play the guys toward the end of the season. Look, if you're undefeated, fine, great. If you lose 2, because it's going to be a long season. This is going to be a long season, playoffs. It's going to be long. And so, yeah, you might have to sit some guys down, because you know you got, look, the main thing is to win that Super Bowl. So I believe we're going back. We're going to be, hey, look, all hands on deck, and we're going to come out to Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay is going to have, now look, I will say this. Tom's got them guys ready, and he couldn't be in a better position. Look, he knew what he was doing. He knew that's the reason he wanted to allow them up there in Tampa Bay. In the Patriots. He had a great defense. He knew where he was going, because he knew the guys that was on the squad, right?
Yeah, and he knew he had the weapons that if he just came in there and put his touch on it with Evans and all them dudes, like, and then get him his back, got his back to come over there and sign. You know,
right.
He knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was going to do. Right.
You know, and he knew he was going to put the work in to make it work.
To put it together, yeah. So I'm like this. They have that ability. They easily can go undefeated. I think. I wouldn't say easily. It's a hard schedule. I looked at the schedule, man. It's tough. They got them.
The first 3 games are hard.
Yeah. It's the NFL, though, man. It's the NFL. The game that looks like a check mark be a problem.
Exactly.
Right. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I don't see no slappers out there in the NFL right now. Jets, maybe Jets, but you know.
Yeah, but you get in the wrong game and things start going the wrong way.
Well, true. Yeah, I mean, we know that.
Like, you know, and that's why I say they really need to believe what they said. And each week, for real. Like, you can beat literally any team you play against. So you really need to be going out there each week.
Absolutely. But look, that's why Coach Ramir used to say all the time, man, look, you keep the losing teams loose. You keep them losing. Ain't no reason they should come in here to win no game. All right, we don't take nobody lightly. I don't care who it is. So don't let them come in here thinking these suckers are, warm cookies. Nah, it ain't gonna happen. Everybody that comes in here, we need to get the business. We go out there, we're gonna take care of business. So same thing. But I'm just saying, maybe at the end of the season, if they get one up, so be it. Whatever.
Yeah, you got to pull some dudes off the field if you already got it.
Yeah,
control.
right.
So JD,
sit down. Tyreek, come sit down. Come, have a seat.
Yeah, they don't want to, but
yeah. Have a seat. Yeah.
We got a bigger thing that we're looking forward to. These last 2 games,
trying to hold that trophy up, man.
Yeah.
You worried about breaking records for yards. Hey, man, I'm sorry. We got to sit on down, man. And you already got that anyway, right? Like, anybody gonna set. It's gonna be all new records now with 17 games. So
that's what I'm gonna say. What y'all think about that? You know what I'm saying?
Like, it's all new. It's gonna be a whole different stat era now. Since after this year.
Right.
So who you pick, JD?
Huh?
Who'd you pick?
What?
Your NFC team. You got Chiefs and.
Man, I think Green Bay is gonna give Tampa Bay a run for its money. I do. That's that, and I don't know how it's gonna play out. Tampa Bay's got the edge on it, so I don't know. Aaron and Brady
if you get that building together though. If it start going a little rocky, I think it's gonna fall apart. Like,
hey, look, this is his last hurrah. That joker know he up out of it. Look,
I know, but it just seems so ready to fall apart. Like if something just go. I mean, if they just get an injury or something just go wrong, it just seemed like that's waiting to crumble. It just been so they didn't even reconcile. He back, and they still don't seem like they really cool. Yeah. He just came back.
It's awkward.
How sweet would it be for him to say, like, look?
No, it would be
right.
But still, though, I just can he keep everything together though? Like
I know it.
He ain't playing defense. He ain't doing some of these other things, and can he keep that building? Right. Because you either side with Rodgers or you side with the Packers. Because they never really, it ain't cool still. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I mean? So it's like, what side you on?
But, the players got his back. The players got his back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what matters the most, right?
And probably some of the coaches.
I'm giving you like the politically correct answer because they always say the defending champs, you got to say that they're going to represent. Now, yeah, they're good. Tampa Bay's good. Defending champ, Tom Brady, GOAT. My sleeper, it's gonna be the Rams, though.
Yep, that was what I was gonna say. Rams. I put $50 on Chiefs and Rams to get to the Super Bowl to win 14.
The Rams got a really good squad, man.
They do.
They got a really good squad. They made some improvements offensively, and already the defense is ready to go. Like, you know what I mean? And it like Aaron Donald ain't fair because Aaron Donald rushes the passer like a DN. He coming through the middle, the most dangerous place that you could possibly put pressure on the quarterback. They got that dude. Like, man, like you can't run at the dude and you also can't drop back. Yeah. Like, it's that. Come on, man. In the middle of my offense.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem in the National Football League on defense is that guy. Because if you can't block the guy that lines up over your center, you can't do anything. Like, the dude destroys everybody's blocking scheme.
Yeah.
The pocket is gone. Quarterback got to instantly go outside. He can't step. Ain't no pocket to step up in when Aaron Donald is coming through there.
Killing double teams.
Exactly. He's running through a double team. They doubling that man. He go right through
it.
Right. So the Rams definitely got something.
We got the number 2 D tackle, so I'm happy what we got, what he's doing. So
right.
No, yeah, definitely. It's just like, man, I said, man, a few years back when I started kind of not he was more than that, but when I first realized like what this dude was doing, I'm like, this is crazy. Like, before it all the way was like, oh, he is that dude. Like, but to watch him move grown men around like that though, like it was crazy.
He's phenomenal. So even as me loyal to my squad, I'm a fan.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of watching dudes play. I've never
seen no dude just moving grown men around. Like, like they're not there. And I know how dudes be in the weight room and how some of these tackles, how strong they are. And he's taking guys with one arm sometimes and just throwing them 5 yards. I'm like, come on, man. Like that's
something else.
That's crazy, man. Like that's wild. And if they build them like that, boy, football about to be something else. if we start getting those, if Aaron Donald start coming along, it's a bunch of them. Like, oh man, boy, they turned this game into something else. You got DNs playing tackle now.
Right.
You ain't kidding.
All right, fellas. Well, that does it for us. Thanks for tuning in to Chief Concerns presented by BetOnline. Jarrad, it was awesome having you on the season premiere of Chief Concerns, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate having you on.
Appreciate y'all having me.
That's a good show.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Really love having
Get you on during the season.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep.
Hey, Jerry, man, much success to you, brother, man. Make sure
Thanks,
you take
man.
care of yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? And the kid, man, getting them together. I told my lady, she works with doctors, and one of the doctors had hurt her knee playing softball. And I told her, I said, man, me and my old guys, man, from my high school, our whole high school team went out there to play softball one year. I said, I was out in the outfield, man. I said, one of my boys went for a fly ball, man. He pulled both his hamstrings. I was like, man, after that game, I'm like, man, we done. That's it. I think the last time I played was like, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And I put my bat down. And because look, everybody was catching the balls on the infield, throwing to the
But
first
JD,
base.
they want people out in the outfield that got speed to get to the ball, man. What the hell you doing out there?
First off, I told you. Now, look, I came out and ran a 4.47 when as a tight end. All right, so you can imagine how it was in high school. All right, I wasn't always this big. Look, I'm gonna tell you this. Look, everybody don't know this. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was the shortest guy in my class up until my sophomore year. And I grew 4 inches one summer and 4 inches the next. I grew 8 inches in 2 summers. And I got out of bed one time. I was just lanky and long. I was like, oh my God, and I had to grow into my body. But I tell you what it did. I tell you what it did do for me though. My sophomore year, I remember we came from football, and I'm over looking at the rim for basketball, right? Because I played out for sportsman. I was like, up like one of the top athletes in the state of Kentucky. And so I'm looking up at the rim my sophomore year, never done before. When I jumped up, grabbed the rim with 2 hands, I said, man, it's all over. Man, that season, boy, I was dunking on everybody.
Hey, I first started to dunk, man. That's all I wanted to do. I could have an open jumper. I'm driving in there. I'm trying.
Yeah.
That's all I was trying to do. As soon as
So
I
neither one of y'all can shoot or dribble, just out there one.
Oh man, hey,
come on now, come on.
Hey, hold on, JD, was you still there when I had to go out there and hoop in the hoop tournament?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I had to go get the little MVP real quick and get my little thing. I had to do my little thing real quick.
Look, hey, Jared, we were just talking about this about 2 episodes ago. We was asking who was the best hooper on the squad, with Kansas City. And I could remember, I was like, man, I remember the game because I didn't play because my back was hurting. That whole off season, I couldn't go out there because I had to keep it up that my back was still hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I know what it is. Yeah.
I'm like, shit, I can't go out here. Herdman came out there looking at look at the guys.
Yeah.
So I said, damn. I said, Warfield could hoop, of course. And I said, Tony. I said, then Will Shields, and I think I said Waters could hoop. G. West could hoop. So I started naming guys who just come to my head, but I couldn't remember. So you want an MVP for that?
Yeah. I was out there hooping, dunking, doing my thing.
It was all done.
Everybody know. I said, hey, y'all better watch out. It ain't just baseball. You know what I'm saying? I could dabble in a little bit of everything.
Hold on, JP. Was it all dunks though?
No. He has some school.
I'm talking to Page.
You said what?
Was it all dunks?
No, it was mostly all threes. Because at that point, I ain't trying to go in there and dunk on nobody. Now I'm out there. I was shooting their lights out. That's what I was doing. I was getting step back, shooting their lights out. I ain't going there to dunk at that time. See, in high school, I ain't think I had nothing to lose. I'm going to dunk on everybody in high school.
Right.
I think I started dunking in 9th grade. And I ended up learning how to shoot at the end of my sophomore year. And I ended up becoming a really good shooter. But I learned I figured out I could dunk in 9th grade. And man, that took about my whole freshman and sophomore year. That's all I wanted to do. I mean, I couldn't tell you how many dunks I missed my freshman and sophomore year. Because I was just trying to take off from the dotted line. Everything was a dunk, And then I learned how to just play and, play within the flow of the game. But that was what I want to do. I'm looking for steals. I'm gambling. So I get that steal, get out there in the open.
You run out for the outlet already. Like they catch.
I'm gone. We play NBA 2K. I'm out.
Oh, shoot. That's all right. That's all right.
We had some decent hoopers out there, though.
Yeah. It's got man. Look, hey, I expect guys. You play the NFL. I expect you to hoop somewhat, a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of the athleticism that dude.
Right.
I mean, it's a lot of guys that can do everything. Like that's what I really like. It wasn't like because that's what I felt like. I'm like, it's really not much. If you coordinate it, it ain't much I can't do. Like, you know what I mean? So if we saying we need to go whatever, we need to play soccer, teach me the rules, and it's not much I can't teach I can do the rest. Like, your athleticism and coordination kind of will take you through the rest if you will at least learn the game. You know what I mean? And so like it's really like all the dudes that are really coordinated and took the time to learn these other games, they good at them too. Like, it ain't just football that they like. It was Darius Butler, like my boy that I played with in New England. Mm-hmm. And I mean, he is certified, could have been Division I college hooper. You know what I mean? But he playing corner and went in the second round as a corner. Like, and dude he ain't even 6 feet tall. He windmilling, Harold Miner. Yeah. I'm like, man, it's some crazy stuff. Like, and guys would be out there. He playing football, nobody ever know. They'll never know that he had, all that type of skill. Like,
yeah,
But I came across a lot of dudes playing that could do, other stuff, really well. It just, for some reason or the other, we ended up, doing that one. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm sitting here, I just didn't love football like baseball. But like going out there and being able to run into cats and do all that and compete, like I was built for that too. Like, it just wasn't my favorite thing,
Yeah.
I enjoyed myself until I started breaking apart and getting hurt all the time. Like, then it was like, man, I'm cool.
You see, I never thought I was going to be a football player either. It's like, I always thought I was going to be a track star, or what I wanted to be was basketball. And so I could jump real good. I had a good shot. I didn't have the best handles, but I could control the ball. And hell, it wasn't too many people that I couldn't beat. The only way Tony Gonzalez beat me is like Tony gonna back you down and use the side.
Yeah.
But
see, I was about 230 pounds, so I gave him a little something on him when he tried to just,
Yeah, but Tony a big boy. Tony was 6'6", 6'5".
I know, but I put that elbow in his lower back. Get up on my paint though, man. We big over here too.
Yeah, but that's what that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to use your advantage, what you got.
Yeah.
There ain't no sense going out 6'9" out there on, at the top of the key trying to guard somebody. You're like, come on down here.
Oh, I know.
Well,
he did what he needed to do.
Watching a lot of YouTube though, and you want to go hit that jumper. I'm like, take that jumper.
Mm-hmm.
take that jumper out there so we get this rebound and go on offense.
Yeah, and it was the same way with me. Football just fell in my lap. Hell, even in college, we won 3 national championships while I was there. And even with that team, I didn't feel like I was a good football player. I was just a part of a team. Like I was doing my job, did what they asked of me. Right. And I still wanted to run track. I wanted to play basketball, and they wouldn't let me. So hell, I just made the most of football, and it just kept building and building and building. And all of a sudden, pro athlete. So.
Right. And that's crazy because like when I tell people that like it's a similar story and they kind of think that that's not true. And it's like, nah, you getting me wrong. It's like while you was doing it, like, yeah, we was out there doing it though. Like, you know what I mean? We were doing it like we would do the sport that we love the most. So that never stopped. But it's just like I never had childhood dreams of playing in the NFL. Like I never thought like that was never, I didn't used to watch on and be like, oh, I'm gonna play. But I used to always say I'm gonna be in the major leagues. I'm gonna be in the NBA. Like I used to go outside, and that's what I was doing. Me and my boy Eric, we playing strikeout in the driveway. We trying to be, Griffey. I learned how to switch hit when I was like 8 years old because I had to be Griffey, Bond. You can't hit right-handed if you want to be Barry Bond. You got to go hit left-handed. If you strike out, you strike out. But that's what I thought. And people like, well, how you do it? It's like, because I still approach football the same way I approach everything else.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't like it was like, oh, well, I like these things better, so I'm gonna go out here and not really go hard and not try to win. Hell no, like I'm trying to win, like, you know. And so that's still, if you're real good in other stuff, you probably are gonna be in the stuff you step into, as long as you do it the same way, you know, like your mentality is the same. Like, you'll figure it out. Like, that's how football was. I started in ninth grade. It's like, okay, I'll figure it out. You know, I'll get out here. I'll go hard like I do in these other sports. I'll pay attention. I'll get the defense down. I'll get the offense down. I'll know what I'm supposed to be doing. And then it's just like, you get to say, I'm just better than you. I'm a better athlete. Then you get to go do that once you learn everything. And so that was the one thing about football, though, that I felt it was the easiest to do that, though, out of all the sports. Like, it seemed like you kind of, like, when I first stepped out to football, all the, like, athleticism I had from, like, these other sports, it just, like, it made me super good out there. Like, the fact that I could see the ball go up, put my head down and run to where it was coming and jump and catch, like, I was like, damn, this game easy. Because all I got to do is, like, do these things. And then I wasn't no little wimpy little kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was scrapped. And so I'm kind of built mindset wise for the game. And then it was like all the skills you have from basketball and baseball, when you go out there and you apply those, like the body control that you get from those sports, it was like, man, this thing is cake out here. Like, it became fun to me, something that I never really even thought about, like became like one of my favorite things to do. I still didn't like it like baseball, but it was like, okay. I mean, because when you good, that's what's fun. Like, you know, if you out there, go out there and get whooped and turf, you don't be like, nah.
Yeah, football is work, man. The running, the hitting, like, it is actual work. Now, it's good when you're a part of a good team and you're winning all the time. So it makes you want to play more. But you just looking forward to practice? No, I never enjoyed practice. I never wanted that running back or that fullback coming at me full speed. You know, it's like some of those little collisions is like, man, do I really want to be out here? But, you know, I'm starting. I'm a part of a team that's good. I'm starting.
Right.
Well, I'm doing something right, and it's got me going in the right direction. But I can play these other sports, and I enjoy it. Like, I enjoy basketball practice. You know, I enjoy.
Yeah, me too. Like, the same thing. I used to want to go to baseball practice. I used to want to go to basketball practice. Like, oh, we're going to do this. And I knew it was going to be conditioning too, but we're going to run, the 3-on-3 drill. We're going to condition. He's going to have us doing walls. But it was like football practice way. Like, it's like, but going through that, though, it makes you better in those other sports too.
Oh, yeah.
Because you go through something that they don't go through. Like, you go through a practice that you don't want to go to. You know what I'm saying? And you keep getting through it over and over and over.
See, I tell you what, this is the reason I'm such an advocate for multi-sports playing in high school. I really am. And I've had this debate with other coaches. Like, when I retired, I became a high school coach over here in Kentucky. And one of the things I couldn't really understand is that everybody was being a little bit kind of selfish with their sports. And so they had a lot of baseball players. They didn't want to play football or play basketball and stuff like that. I'm like, look, I said, you know what made me a great athlete was me playing multiple sports. And so you work on, different, muscle groups, the different angles and movements. And so, like you say, these things just strengthen you up just to be a better athlete. And so it was the same thing. Like when I and the science kind of supports this. It talks about, overuse of particular, things and movements creates more problems and like tears, right? That's what ends up happening. You start getting more injuries because you're just overusing, maybe the throwing motion or maybe something like that.
Every sport is 24/7 now. If they, they try to get the kid to do that all year.
All the time, man. And I just, to me, when you're looking at a guy who comes in, like when I know that he's played like multiple sports, that's kind of the guy I want. Like you said, kind of that mentality, because I know it's like, look, you're not just trying to be good at this one sport. Your mentality is to win at every sport. And I'm sure all the Bulls is probably like one of the best guys on our team, right? I mean, I'd shoot basketball, football, track, baseball. And I stopped playing baseball my senior year. And that was like my one regret everybody talk about. That was my one regret. Stop playing baseball. My love. That's my first true love. I said, but the thing is,
playing when?
My senior year in high school.
The hell, When you think you're gonna keep that's gonna keep going or something?
That's
why I stopped playing all those sports.
No, man, no. I'm talking about I was a bad boy on the baseball field. The thing was, it was an issue with the coach. Me and him didn't really gel a lot because I was going back and forth. I was doing 4 sports, man, in high school. I'm gonna tell you, because baseball and the track is the same season.
Yeah, they the same time. That's why I never did track in high school. Yeah,
right. And so what I would do is I would leave, come back, to baseball and go to track on certain things, in certain events when they would need me. And so he's just like, look, you know what? Hey, you got to make a choice. You got to pick. And I was like, we just didn't gel right. And so I quit baseball. But I came to EKU, man, to play both football and basketball. But it kind of goes into like, you look at the guys that actually play like baseball and football, right? We got Dion, we got Bo Jackson. Who's the other dude? Jordan that played with Atlanta. So you see
Brian Jordan.
Yeah.
Brian Jordan.
Brian Jordan. Right?
Brian Jordan. Yeah.
Yeah. That was multiple sports athletes, 2 athletes. You know what I'm saying? That was playing at that time. And so I see more guys like from football that was trying to do it. DK Metcalf sitting there running, the 100 against the guys. You know what I mean? It's a lot, man, validity in what you're saying about, kind of like football players, playing multiple sports, being good at a lot of different things. I don't really see other guys coming from other sports trying to do,
Odell Beckham is like that. Like people always see him and they're like, oh, damn, what can he do? I'm like, pretty much probably nothing. If it got to deal with some athletics and body control, pretty much ain't nothing I can't do. Like, what I'm saying? Like, what you want to do? Kick the ball right-footed, left-footed? It don't matter. Like, he could probably do everything. He could probably play everything at a high level. As long as he's willing to go out there and compete, he's going to be good at everything when it involves athleticism and coordination, because he just built like that, And so it's like, it really is the mindset. And that's the one thing football gives you that the other sports don't all the way quite tap into as much, is that mindset. Like that willingness to not want to go to practice. You know what I'm saying? To be running from 15 yards away and see, whoever it makes, Steven Jackson, and be like, damn, like, I don't want to do that, but I'm about to do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to run, and I'm just going to run into this dude. Yeah. Like, that's wild. Them other sports don't have to make them decisions. Like, they don't have to make those decisions, man. Like, it's easier decisions that don't put that type of stress on you, And then, not to mention, when you actually hit Steven Jackson, you're going to feel some shit along with it. So it's the choice you got to make to put yourself into something that is not going to feel good to you. It's not going to be easy. And most of the other sports, they do that, but the choice is easier. It's like, okay, I know, like, I'm going to be tired. Like, I got to go hit 300 balls. My hand's going to hurt. And it's a different thing, though, but I'm not going to get hit in my head. You know what I mean? I'm not breaking nothing. Like, you know what I mean? It's a difference. And so football does give players that mindset that I think, like, it's an example. When I went to the Dodgers, I didn't realize how quickly they sideline you for little stuff in baseball. So, in football, you go out there and you play the whole game or practice and you don't come out of practice, like, I can go in the training room real quick and just be like, hey, I want y'all to, I'm a little sore, just do that. I ain't missing nothing. I'm coming around. I'm going to be back. I ain't asking for no days off or nothing, but it's a little sore. So can y'all, do something with that? And they'll work on it, whatever. And then you'll be back at practice tomorrow. Yeah. And it'll be nothing. Man, and you go in there in baseball, because, like, I was having shoulder issue. I had surgery in the league, and, I was getting a little shoulder issues. And I wanted to go just get stretched out, get a little treatment, and then come to practice in the morning. Man, them boys sat me down for 10 days. They said, you can't even hit. Oh, I'm like, nah, I was throwing. They say, nah, you can't even hit. And I talked myself into being able to hit after a week. But I'm like, after that, I said, I ain't telling them about nothing. Like, I come in here, how you gonna make the team? They keep sitting you down for 10 days. Like, man, right. I said, man, I'm gonna get me some Advil, I'm gonna get some icy hot. And we're not going in there for very much no more, man. Cause y'all got me out here talking about I can't even go in the cage now. Like, nah. Yeah, so that's my point though. Football don't work like that. Football don't, you come in there, you whatever. It might be something torn up in here. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be at practice.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're gonna make that choice. You're gonna be out there and you're gonna run into people with that same shoulder, knowing what it's gonna feel like. I'm like, what other sport be making those choices, like, to do that to themselves? They just don't have to do it.
Yeah.
In football, you try to get sat down for about four days if you can't get out there in the game. It's like, can I get away with this?
Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly. That's about it.